It seems to be quite normal for each of us to take our car to the service center before the start of winter to switch from summer to winter tires. We need to get from A to B safely, of course. But why then do so many neglect how they get from B to C? Because our footwear must be adapted as well. Otherwise, we risk catching a cold more easily due to cold and wet feet, or even injuries due to slippery conditions. That is why today I'm going to introduce you to the 5 best winter shoes that will work with any style and will be a loyal companion for you in both free time and in your professional life. And the best part is, it doesn't matter whether you're watching this video this year, next year, or the year after, because we focus on timeless classics that will always work. Most of the shoes I'll be wearing in today's video are by the brand Moc Toe, a very fine Swedish footwear company focusing on timeless classics for affordable prices. But as you know me, I'm always looking to get the most out of my tips for you, which is why for each and every pair I'll be talking about today, you'll find alternatives from all sorts of brands and price ranges in the video description. Let's go! Some people don't like them, but guys, I've got some convincing arguments for my #1 pick. And that pick, or shall I say draft, is Chelsea boots. But important to know is that we'll be needing Chelsea boots with a chunky sole, also called commando sole. Why Chelsea boots? Honestly, the most important reason for me, and by me I mean you because I'm thinking ahead for you guys here, is the issue of putting them on and taking them off again. It may sound quite unspectacular and blunt, but let's be honest. Don't we all love it when we can just slip into our worn out sneakers at the weekend and off we go? Imagine not needing to give up that feeling, but instead having a stylish, comfortable boot on your foot. In addition to this comfort, the Chelsea boot is also extremely versatile. A good example of its versatility is that David Beckham, who's known for his mix of casual and chic outfits, repeatedly opts for these boots. To give you more examples, they can also look good with a suit if you want to dress down your office look a bit. A perfect example of this is the man we will always remember as Jon Snow, or this gentleman here. You can also incorporate Chelsea boots into more rustic outfits without any problems, and same goes for street style as we see here. Although the Chelsea boot in the last picture features a crepe sole, which is less advantageous for winter, but gives us the perfect opportunity to talk about the sole. Namely, as initially stated, we would want a commando sole. The commando sole was invented in the 1930s by the English rubber manufacturer Itchide, which during the Second World War switched from toy and brush production to tank threads and torpedo accessories. Imagine putting a turn of events like this in your LinkedIn bio. But back to the story. As part of his diverse production line, Itchide, among other things, invented a rubber sole for army boots to replace the impractical wooden and leather soles, which then soon made a name for itself as the commando sole. The slightly chunkier sole may be unusual for you guys, but trust me, you need this kind of style for your winter looks. Because being fully wrapped up on top looking bulky, then wearing a narrow boot on the feet, doesn't really work aesthetically. The chunky sole provides visual balance, and a great side effect I'm sure no one will complain about is that it gives us an extra half an inch or so in height. It's not that easy to find a good Chelsea boot with a commando sole at a good price-performance ratio, but luckily that's where Moc Toe comes in. The Elphick model is storm welted, made of water-repellent wax-treated suede, and equipped with a Vibram commando sole. Perfect. They're linked below together with a few others from Beckett Simonon, Ralph Lauren and Thursday Boot. I recommend going with the dark brown pair, but if you tend to wear more gray, black and white tones, go for black boots. Next up, we have a pair of shoes that are perfect for somewhat more extreme weather, but still fit perfectly with our wardrobe. Hiking boots. We need something functional when snow, mud and ice prevails, because our wardrobe should also be functional and not just beautiful. Hiking boots have their origins in the mountaineering era of the Italian Alps in the 1930s and 40s and have a very unique, rough aesthetic that is surely not for everyone. But they definitely fit perfectly into a gentleman's wardrobe. Even James Bond wears them in the movie Spectre, and the author of the Bond series, Ian Fleming, praises hiking boots in the short story Just For You from 1960. At least that's the English translation for the German name of the short story, because I couldn't find a translation anywhere. Anyway, the fact is, you can choose cooler and above all, more traditional winter footwear. Just when I was in New York with my wife, I tested the Duvet 2 model from Moc Toe with various outfits. Pants made of wintry fabrics go perfectly with them, as for example in this outfit with flannel pants. Is that correct now? I used to say flannel, right? Anyways, but they also go just as well with corduroy pants as we see here, or with raw denim jeans like here. They also give your coat outfits a more rustic and relaxed look as in these two cases, but they also look very cozy and cool in combination with down jackets just like here. Or with a vest and Fair Isle sweater as seen here. It is important that they're water repellent, as is the case with my Moc Toe boots. And of course, they feature a sole with a coarse profile. You can find the model I'm wearing below, along with a few other suggestions. And I also have a small announcement on my behalf. If you're looking for knitwear to go with these shoes presented today, then I can confidently recommend my own brand, Fredericks, because we've restocked the fall-winter collection, including socks. From half-zips to long-sleeve, polos and turtlenecks, you'll find everything on our website frederiksgermany.com. Let's move on to the chicest version of our winter edition, lace-up boots. First of all, there are many different varieties. For example, the Balmoral boot, which is basically the boot version of the Oxford shoe with closed lacing and is therefore perfect to wear as an alternative to a dress shoe in winter. Right after that on the elegant scale comes the Derby boot, which has an open lacing. Equally important to know is the jumper boot, which is a cross between a military boot and elegant footwear, featuring a higher shaft with speed hooks for faster lacing and a rubber sole. In general, you can find all these shoes in the toe cap version with a reinforced toe cap at the front, as well as in full brog or half brog, meaning a perforated pattern decoration over half or the whole shoe. But to name the individual versions would go a little beyond the scope today. For this video, I wore the model Tierne from Merquist in New York, which combines many of the features just mentioned. It is a jumper boot with speed hooks, a reinforced toe cap and brog detailing. It is also made with a storm welt, which makes the boot even more water resistant and gives it a slightly rougher look. And it's details like these that make it possible to wear elegant boots like these in winter too. Because if you pay attention to the material, such as waxed weight, and the craftsmanship, such as storm welt, you won't have any problems. In addition to this weather protectional aspect, these boots also offer additional support and comfort. Due to the high-cut shape and lacing, the shaft protects and stabilizes the ankle much better, which makes longer walks more comfortable. But don't get me wrong guys, I mean, we're talking about great but still quite stiff leather that really wants and needs to be broken in. The Goodyear welting also plays a role because boots like these can be resoled over and over again. And last but not least, their versatility. Elegant lace-up boots can easily be worn with a suit, as you can see here with my Tiernes in New York, combining them with a suit and a Frederiks turtleneck. And they would even look more elegant with darker suits. In my last 9 items 9 outfits video, you will find various outfits showing how to style black lace-up boots for the office or smart casual situations. Can we pull these up for a second, Jamie? Ah, perfect, thank you. Not bad for a pair of shoes that you hadn't considered before, right? And the beauty of it is that the older they get, the more patina they develop, making them even easier to integrate into casual outfits. In my opinion, this is the perfect shoe for you if you need a shoe for a work context, but find Chelsea boots to be too casual. Let's move on to an absolute workhorse and icon of Americana style, Red Wings. If, like me, you grew up with Timberlands, then Red Wings are the perfect replacement in my opinion. Red Wing boots were founded in 1905 as a robust work boots for miners and loggers and have earned a legendary reputation for quality and durability due to the unforgiving conditions in which they were used. Their timeless aesthetics and robustness have transformed them from a pure work shoe into an icon of American craftsmanship, making them popular even among fashion enthusiasts today. Due to their original look, it is clear that we can only incorporate these shoes for rustic, stylish outfits and not so much for our really elegant attire. But that's a cool and unusual change for this channel, right? Here are 4 styling options. First, the workwear and Americana look. Characteristic for both styles are cuffed up selvage and raw denim jeans combined with a denim jacket or flannel shirt, and then a workwear jacket like the ones here from Carhartt or a wax version like a Barber. Timeless styles that honor the workwear origin of the boots and look super rustic. Then the smart casual approach. Dark jeans again, either an Oxford shirt or a crisp t-shirt like here, plus a cardigan or a knitted sweater and sunglasses. The Red Wings give this otherwise chic look a casual touch and create an interesting contrast. But Red Wings also work in a more minimalistic environment, such as a navy monochrome outfit styled with the black version of Red Wings. Last but not least, the functional stylish outfits, namely in combination with a parka or down coat. In my opinion, this also looks really cool and appealing when combined with jeans or chinos, a thick parka, hat and scarf. All wrapped up and perfect for the really cold days. And again, the beautiful aspect is that the more you wear your Red Wings, the greater the patina they develop, the more characteristic the shoe gets in the end. Just like with a Barber jacket. And as you are accustomed with me, there is always hidden value, and therefore shoe number 5 is more of a category with 3 suggestions. I'm missing a general term, so we'll call them winterized low shoes. Namely derbies, mock toes and Chukkah boots, all with a coarse, or as we've learned, a commando sole. Not everyone wants to wear boots, so we also need to talk about low shoes. Honestly, I think there should be a better word to describe these shoes. It's called Halbschuh in German, summing them up quite nicely. But anyways, here's a brief classification of the three. A derby is like an Oxford, except that it features an open lacing, meaning it is placed on the upper material of the shoe. It is more distinct and therefore less chic. Chukkah boots, on the other hand, is the collective term for ankle-high boots that typically have 2 to 3 eyelets and are made of smooth or suede leather. They either have a leather, wooden or crepe sole. Those with a crepe sole are called desert boots, meaning they are a subcategory of Chukkah boots. And Moc Toe is simply an abbreviation for moccasin toe and describes a style of shoe inspired by the moccasin. The toe or the tip is what makes it special and gives the shoe its name. The moccasin-inspired stitching on the shoe can be created either by sewing 2 pieces of leather together or by placing a stitching on a single piece. And guys, if you like this kind of concentrated information, then you will absolutely love my newsletter. For example, you'll find over 25 information-packed posts in the archive, including a 2-part series on the topic of must-have shoes. That, and in addition, we're currently working on a Discord server to accompany the newsletter. You find the link at the top of the video description. Those of us with a real love for classic style could go with a classic derby made of a robust full-grain leather, a rubber sole and a storm welt, where the leather is water repellent and or impregnated. This is the model Boden from Merquist, which I've also linked below. My personal preference is leaning more towards Moc Toes and Chukkahs, as I've worn both in different trips to New York and they really were extremely comfortable but also very stylish companions, as these 2 outfits show. Sure, those are quite elegant outfits, I know, but they can also be dressed down very easily. Which brings us to the topic of how do we style those shoes? I'm consciously making no distinction in styling between the 3 because they all have the same range of usage. As just shown, they are wonderful for more elegant outfits like with a suit, turtleneck and wool coat as seen here. Or even with flannel pants, a waistcoat and any kind of coat as here. But even more rustic versions of smart casual outfits, as this gentleman shows here, go perfectly with Chukkah boots or winter derbies. The only difference in styling is the upper material. Smooth leather is more chic, suede is more informal. If you ask me, you should go with a robust option like a lace-up boot or a Red Wing in smooth leather, and then add a chic suede shoe. This way, you'll be perfectly covered for more functional situations, but also for more elegant occasions. The good thing about derbies, Moc Toes and Chukkah boots is that you can also wear them in fall and spring because they won't be too warm. And like a mother who throws their child's lunchbox after them in the school bus just inches before the door closes, I would like to give you 3 quick tips for keeping your boots in good condition. Firstly, use cedar shoe trees after each long wear to keep the sole of the shoe flat, prevent wrinkles and draw out moisture and smells. And never dry them under a radiator or in the sun. Secondly, apply cream or oil to the leather every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on use, including the folds and the seams. And thirdly, impregnate them 1 to 2 times a year or wax them to keep them waterproof. For today's outro, I'm giving you another insight to my weird little world by telling you about my taste in music. Because even though I seem streamlined to you, I think there's just some funny insights that give you a better idea that I'm actually just an idiot like everyone else. I mean, would you have thought that I'm actually a big Slipknot fan? During my teenage phase, I was super into heavy metal, listening to Slipknot, As I Lay Dying and a few others. I still listen to the album Slipknot and Subliminal Verses when hitting the gym, or Shadows of Security from As I Lay Dying. And I'm also quite educated in old school hip hop. I mean, imagine putting on a playlist of mine and putting it on shuffle. That's super twisted, I'm telling you. But anyways, see you guys.